Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So just last month, Jagex released an update overhauling the Dagannoth Kings. And the first thing that you're going to notice is that the models for the Dagannoth Kings are completely different. They look a lot more vibrant. They're no longer the ugly gray blobs that they used to be. And the animations are a lot smoother, a lot cooler. And I'm not just exaggerating, it really made this grind fun because it's a lot better than sitting here for a long time in a gray, boring place. But graphics weren't the only thing they changed. They also slightly changed the drop table. They removed a lot of the bad drops and replaced it with slightly better ones, like you get a lot of red D-hide items, batwing items, etc. And the rare drops were largely unchanged, so you don't have to worry about that. You can still get a lot of D-hatchets. Additionally, they also added a new item called the Dagannoth King's Teleport. It's available on the GE, so you can sell it, and what it does is that it teleports you to the Dagannoth King's lair, so it can save players a lot of time of running. But lastly, about the drops, they did remove the large water talisman drops that they used to have. If you're unaware, before this update, Dagannoth Prime, the magic one, used to drop a huge stack of water talismans. It was like 50, 60. It was so much money because, as you know, water talismans are like sometimes 10k if double experience weekends around. And to be honest, a lot of your money came from that. So I'm not really sure if the Dagannoth Kings make as much money as they used to. I guess we'll find out in this video, or maybe have a better idea. But they definitely took a huge hit with removing that drop. You can still get them, but it's only 4 to 8. And that's pretty much all the changes that they did. The strategy to kill these guys has not changed at all. The mechanics have stayed virtually the same. So as for my strategy, I was using each of the styles because, if you didn't know, each of the Dagannoth Kings is aligned with a different style and you have to fight accordingly. So I used Void for that because Void is a good hybrid armor if you switch the helmets all over the place. And I'm not sure if that's the best armor set I could use. You can also use War Priest if you want. I just found that it's enough defense for me because you don't need much here, and it really scales up my damage. If you're on Slayer Task, do not use Void because it obviously won't work, but throughout this entire video I was not doing this on Slayer Task. I also used each of the tier 90s, and I made sure to use the Noxious items because each of them are two-handed weapons, and that way I can freely switch between them without messing up my inventory, because if you have a two-handed weapon and then you equip, like, say, Drygors, it really messes up your inventory placement and it just gets really hectic. But yeah, as for Dragon Hatchets, I received 4 of them, which is pretty good, I guess. Not as much as I wanted, but it is what it is. They're like 1.3 mil, so I still made a fair amount of money from them. And of course I can't forget the rings that they drop. It seemed like Rex really wanted to give me a lot of warrior rings because I got 5 of them, and then the other rings I only got 1 to 2, so I really don't know why that happened, but it really doesn't matter because the rings are very cheap in general. I like getting them just because they look cool in the bank, but as for like the actual money factor, it's not really that much. I also got 3 mud battle staves, also not super expensive, but cool to get regardless. And there was one extra thing that was crazy that happened, but I will save that for later this week, but you can probably guess what happened. Anyway though, as for like the actual drops that I mentioned, like the red D-hide and so on, they also added a noted Bowstring drop, which is really, really good. Additionally, I think the best change that they did to the drop table was add noted Dagannoth bones as a drop. I'm not talking about the Fremennik sea boots that actually make your bones noted. They seriously do have a drop that drops noted Dagannoth bones. So some kills you can get 7 bones, 8 bones, so on. And that means I did count all my kills through hides, because hides are always going to be 1 per kill. But yeah, it just adds a little bit more profit, I guess. And on that note, I did mention the Fremennik sea boots. I forgot to mention in my gear section. If you have the Fremennik tasks done, you'll have the Fremennik sea boots. And what they do is that they note the Dagannoth bones that you get from Dagannoth Kings. And if you use a yak, it's almost required to have these boots. Otherwise, it's going to be a pain in the ass to bank everything. Anyway, as for how long this video took me, I would say it took me roughly 8 hours to complete. I was getting anywhere from like 120 to 130 kills per hour on my best hours. Granted, I was streaming, so it was slightly slower, but I think a good number to go off of would be 8 hours, because 125 kills is very, very doable off task. And along with that, the experience you get here is kind of mediocre. Each of the kills give you around 3,000 combat experience total, and that includes HP. And remember, I'm doing the 3 different styles, so the actual combat experience is divided by 3. So it seems like I got like around 700k strength, range, and magic, and then another 700k HP. So definitely do not go here for combat experience. It's really not that amazing. But there's always the hunt for the pet, and then if you have a Slayer task, they are pretty worth it. But yeah, I think that does it for the Dagannoth Kings. Let's go and check out the loot. Alright, here we are with the first inventory, and yeah, there is going to be a second inventory. There's just way too many items that the Kings drop, so just bear with me. As for these items, obviously these are the bones and the hides. As I said, you do get the Dagannoth bones as a normal drop, so that's why I have more than 1,000. And these guys are very prone to dropping rare drop table drops. I got, 10 palm tree seeds. That's a lot of money right there. I got a bunch of rune plates. I got super restores. There's a lot of rare drop table drops that I got throughout this video. And a lot of the money actually came from that. Because look at this. Palm tree seeds are what? 170k each? That's basically 1.7 mil in one drop. I guess you can consider that a free hatchet. But yeah, you do get a lot of red D-hide and batwing, like I said. And there is a lot more armor sets coming up in the next inventory, but these do add up. I did not pick up any of the mithril items because it was just a pain to pick up even more items, and I felt like the Batwing was probably better. It is worth more. Same with the red D-hide. Oh, and if you didn't notice, I do have 277k. Some of it was from rare drop table coin drops, but a lot of it was from Dagannoth Rex. He drops a coin drop sometimes. So yeah, let's just price check this first inventory and add the 277k to it. Damn, that's pretty good. 18.4 mil. Add the 277. That would put me up to pretty much 18.7 million gold, which honestly is very, very good for just the first wave of drops. I haven't even showed you any of the rare ones like the dragon hatchets. So yeah, definitely a great start. But as I said earlier, look at these bowstrings. Like just from those, I got a mil. Considering they're 400 each and you get a couple hundred every time, it's really, really nice to get. And yeah, I'll be right back with the other inventory. Okay, we're back with the other items, and pretty much everything in this inventory is unique to the Dagannoth Kings. And the first row of items are kind of just troll drops, or just kind of collectibles. The only one that is tradable out of these four is the keg of beer. It's roughly 2k, so it probably won't sell for much, but the Fremenic Blade, Fremenic Helm, and Fremenic Shield are all untradeable, and they're pretty much just collectibles. I thought it'd be interesting to collect all of them just to see the numbers at the end. So yeah, there you go. As for the next couple rows, I got my spined armor, I got my rock shell armor, and the skeletal armor. All of these are kind of really old school armor sets and largely have kept their value. For example, the rock shell plate is, 37k. I think all of these are based on elk value, so I'll definitely get a decent amount of money from them. And as for the rare drops, of course, 4 dragon hatchets. I just mentioned all this earlier. I don't need to mention it again, but it does add up. And I actually haven't checked the dragon hatchet in a while. Is it still 1.3? Okay, it's basically 1.3. I'm happy about that, but it might sell for lower because I know it's been a month since the update, but I think dragon hatchets probably still will be a little bit lower because a lot of people have done Dagannoth King since the update. But enough rambling, let's see how much this thing is worth. And yeah, not too bad. Let's round it up to 9.3 mil for math purposes. And if you add that to the 18.7 from earlier, that gives you 28 mil. Considering this video took me 8 hours, as I mentioned, that equates to exactly 3.5 mil an hour. Now, I don't know exactly how much Dagannoth Kings used to be in the past, but I would hazard to guess that it was around 3.5 mil an hour. So I think the money per hour here has largely been unchanged. Granted, if you do get lucky with the dragon hatchets, you can make a lot more. But it is nice to see that the regular drops are fairly consistent now. Back in the day, you would just have to rely on the water talisman drops and the dragon hatchets. But now it's pretty consistent, which I like. And if you're wondering why I'm not selling any of these items, you gotta know that these items are going straight into my Master of PVM tab, which is the series where I go for all of the boss pets. I can't sell anything till I'm done with that shit, so hopefully everything in here stays pretty valuable. I guess we'll have to see down the road. Damn it, I forgot to put these Dagannoth teleports in the price checks. So it actually adds up to roughly 100k. So pretty much all I said does remain the same. It still is around 3.5 mil an hour. I just totally forgot to bring these in there. But yeah, all in all, I thought this was a really fun video and I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry it took me way too long to get this out since the new update. I honestly did not expect that this would take a month, but I kind of just put it off, shit happens. So I hope this video can kind of show you if, doing these things are worth it or not. It's really up to you. If 3.5 mil an hour sounds good to you, but keep in mind, pretty bad combat experience. If that sounds good to you, definitely go for it. And I would highly recommend doing these guys on Slayer tasks because of course you do get faster kills and then therefore more money per hour. And I would really say that 4 Dragon Hatchets and 1,000 kills isn't too lucky, and you could definitely get more without being surprised. So with all that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day.